Guys, my friends from NordVPN are back, and they are better than ever. Now, I got to let you know about NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro. This offers advanced protections from malware, phishing scams, and other online threats. Let's say you're downloading a file. Threat Protection Pro protects it from malware. Clicking a link, Threat Protection Pro will block websites that are fake. It's the best. NordVPN is truly the best. Threat Protection Pro even stops web trackers to beef up your privacy. And it doesn't even need an active VPN connection for it to work. Just enable the feature when you download the NordVPN app. Then sit back, relax, and enjoy a better version of the internet. This works on Mac OS or Windows. Guys, just go to nordvpn.com/Sonnen. Get the NordVPN 2-year plan plus 4 extra months. It is risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Guys, you want me to really save you a step? Just click on the link below.
He's good, but he is so lame. Pride before the fall. Oscar Mayer has said, self-proclaiming himself a legend is exactly what I would expect from him. JP MMA fan says, El douche o. I don't use that word, douche. That's like, there's a part of the country, California, they call each other douche. That's kind of like Chama for me. But Chama makes me laugh, and so does El Ducho. I mean, I must admit. Underdog fan, this is a long one, but he's got an opinion. That's the type of name that either makes you unforgettable or you go down like a massive dumpster fire. Cough, Bobby King Green. Good luck with that. Abstraction says, the humbling is going to be glorious. Now they're talking about the name change from El Matador to the Legend. I love it. I've had 3 days to process this. And my initial plan on Ilia Topuria and the changing from El Matador to Legend. My initial plan was to bury him and bury his team and then bury the shovel that I bury them with, because I despise the idea, not to mention I don't get it. I don't think, first off, for a true legend, that you get to name yourself. I mean, the true legends, I don't believe that you get to give yourself a nickname. And I've seen some nicknames change. Let me just give you one. But Paulo Acosta is the Terminator. Paulo Acosta came in with his own nickname of the Eraser. And the Eraser is a great nickname. They made a movie about it. Maybe you know about it, maybe you don't. But it's just, he erases people. They don't exist. It's powerful. It's unique. There's something to it. You guys renamed him the Terminator. Joe Rogan and John Anik, they renamed him the Terminator because the way he would just come out and just destroy. And it was very hard to shake it. He didn't want Terminator. If he wanted Terminator, he wanted Eraser. But he couldn't do anything. He became the Terminator. But it was very organic, and I'm just offering you guys an example. So now you've got Ilia Topuria and...
Wait, one more example for you. Hollywood Henderson to Hendo.
Yes, I did not like the change of Hollywood Henderson to Hendo. I was part of naming him Hollywood. Somebody else did that, but I was there. I remember looking up...
Miko Ciparelli.
I remember looking up, though, when it was done. Like, when somebody referred to him, it was Rico Ciparelli. And I remember going, and then I just started calling him that. Hey, Hollywood. But I would call him that in front of other people. Hey, Hollywood over here. People look around, who are you talking about? Oh, he's talking about Dan. Why are you calling him Dan? But then over time, it started working. I just remember being part of this. I'm sure there was other people as well, but I like Hollywood Dan Henderson. I like the whole thing. He shortens it to Hendo. That is actually part of his name. So I just felt like it was a little bit different, but I'll give you a great example. And I was even part of this. I was assigned through Brad Darcy, executive director. I was assigned to the Oregon State Athletic Commission locker room of Floyd Mayweather when he came to Oregon and he fought Sean Bay Mitchell in 2005. And they did not sell out the theater. They did not sell out that venue. They did not even come close. Andre Ward was on the card. Roy Jones got an appointment of a manager and Nike's right here in our backyard. I mean, there was a number of things to make this boxing event a success. They gave tickets away to anybody that could put their hand out. Every radio station was, come, be the third caller and get 3,000 tickets, or be the fourth caller and get 5,000 tickets. Like, you could not do enough to give these tickets away. And then once we gave away 25,000 tickets in a 17,000 foot fit, we only got 5,000 people to show up. I mean, he just wasn't the star. And it was Pretty Boy Floyd. It was Pretty Boy Floyd. It wasn't Money Mayweather. It was Pretty Boy Floyd. And he was still doing little things. I remember one, they put the camera on the tunnel that he's supposed to walk out, right? The opponent's in the ring, and it's his turn to walk out. And they got somebody back there, and they're wearing this gown. These guys in there. There's a big spoon gesture that I'm trying to do here for stirring of the pot, and they're cooking. They're throwing ingredients into the pot. They're throwing ingredients in this warlock, and he's stirring the pot. And then up from the pot raises Floyd Mayweather, and he's got his boxing gloves on. It was awful. It was embarrassing, but he was trying. He was trying to do something. He knew in this sport. He knew as a second-generation guy, it takes more. He knew as a guy that grew up hearing stories about Muhammad Ali. He knew that it took more. He was trying. It just wasn't there. It wasn't until he straight up ripped off rappers. Straight up. Throwing money around, making it rain, showing off the fancy, the joy. He forgot that was an angle. He actually became that person. The greats do. The greats will live the gimmick. But either way, what a difference, right? When you have Pretty Boy Floyd. And there's something symbolic about this name change. I hated it 3 days ago when it happened. And now I'm into it. Matter of fact, I love it. Matter of fact, guys, I find it necessary. I think he has to change his name. Now, if I get a chance to talk to Ilia Topuria, and I don't know him, by the way. I don't know who manages him. If you do and you can line that up, I would appreciate that. Let Ilia know I would like to speak to him. But one thing that I really want to speak to him about, thank you, Ethan. The one thing I really want to speak to him about, and this is why I love the name change. I hope you're staying with me, guys. It's so relevant here. He is done with 145. He hates 145. He wants nothing to do with 145. He didn't have a passion at 45. He wasn't building anything at 45. He's never got his panties in a bunch, as they say, one single time, aside from a hand sanitizer incident with Patty the Batty. But he does now. You can't hear an happy Ilia interview. He is so angry. I haven't seen him this hungry. He wasn't this hungry when he stumbled upon a world championship at 145. I was in Anaheim when he threw the hook that landed on Volkanovski. He was not that into it. He wasn't that into the Max Holloway fight, and he was trying to be. He was trying to get himself there. He just wasn't. Go talk to him now. See how pissed off he is. He does not like not being world champion. He does not like that he doesn't have a guaranteed world title fight coming up. He doesn't like that people are questioning whether he's big. He just did an interview the other day where he was arguing that he gets up to 190 pounds. I mean, it was to the point that Michael Chandler actually took umbrage with it and said, I've stood next to you and you don't weigh 190 pounds. I mean, they're arguing about these things. These are not things to argue about. These are not real topics. This is how pissed off Ilia Topuria, he just is, man. Remember when Sean Strickland didn't care who was world champion until they took his belt away in Canada and then he lost his mind? I mean, it was like this whole new form of motivation. You're going, whoa, I didn't know that a guy who'd been world champion could be more motivated. I would have just assumed that the height of motivation is what led you to the world championship. We all would have assumed that. Until they took Strickland's belt away. And he decided he wanted it back. And the same thing is going on with Ilia Topuria. And it's very representative. He didn't want anything to do with 45. He didn't want anything to do with Volkanovski and Lopez and that whole thing, man. Those guys are so yesterday, in his opinion. He has moved up. He is now the big boy. He's going to take on the number one ranked guy. He's going to take on the world champ. I mean, but this is how he looks. You got to have a new name. You have to have a new name. Ilia Topuria is turning the page of his career. He's going from pretty boy to Money Mayweather. And by the way, I don't know how it's going to go. When this whole thing's that nobody does. There's a reason we got to walk him out there and do the damn fight. But if the whole thing goes the way he thinks it's going to go, it will be ever important more. He will be one of the few guys who found a way to have two stories instead of one. And the same thing goes, if it doesn't go his way, he will still be a guy that is able to separate. He will able to say, well, the legend lost, but El Matador was the baddest dude to ever fight. It's very interesting. Names matter, guys. If names didn't matter, we'd all walk around calling each other Walter. It matters. You have two books. You have two books. One written, one being written. For Ilia Topuria. It's very important that he have a different name. It's very important that this tale be about somebody else. It's very important that this path be different. There would be no way to be excited. There would be no way to motivate it. If you're looking at them and you're coupling them, it's just one trade for the next. It has to be new. That's where the challenge comes in. That's where the story comes in. That's where the legend comes in.